War wasn't supposed to involve diapers. Sergeant Jack Harlow had trained to fight aliens, not babysit one, but the universe had a sick sense of humor. During the evacuation of Delta 9, amid plasma fire and screaming comms, he found the creature huddled under debris, small, slimy, and staring at him with 6 iridescent eyes the size of coins. Every instinct said leave it. Orders said terminate all enemy biosignatures. Conscience, that annoying human defect, whispered otherwise. He sighed, lifted the hatchling, and instantly regretted it. The little beast latched onto his neck like a starfish with trust issues. "Congratulations, Sergeant," his squad leader barked over the radio. "You've adopted an appetizer." Jack didn't respond. He was too busy prying teeth off his collarbone. He called it Kairi after the sound it made whenever he sneezed, like a blender choking on gravel. For 48 hours, he carried that alien brat through gunfire, ration shortages, and one very awkward diaper improvisation involving thermal gauze. It drooled acid on his boot, gnawed on a grenade pin, and purred whenever he cursed. He tried to hand it to medics, but the hatchling screamed until the medic cried louder. By the time extraction came, both were declared biologically attached. Jack didn't even know what that meant. The alien did. It called him something that translators rendered as Mom-Dad. The war ended months later with a ceasefire no one trusted. Jack went home, hung up his uniform, and tried to drink the memories away. The holofeed still played clips of him shielding the hatchling during the last firefight, an image that went viral across both species. Humans called him a hero. The Cathal called him the tender human. Jack called it bad press. No one wanted to hire the guy famous for cuddling the enemy. He spent his days fixing shuttles at a scrapyard and his nights arguing with Snark 9, the sarcastic home AI that doubled as his only friend. The AI kept replaying the war doc about him just to hear the dramatic music. "You're trending again," it chirped one night. "Alien parenting forums are debating whether you use positive reinforcement or Stockholm Syndrome." Jack threw a wrench at the projector. "I used not dying, you glorified toaster." Still, curiosity itched. He sometimes wondered what happened to Kairi, the kid he saved. Maybe it grew up normal, ate smaller things, learned manners. Maybe not. Either way, his days of interspecies drama were over. Or so he thought. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday, delivered through an ancient communications relay that hadn't buzzed in years. The display flickered with alien script, then translated, Mother_of_Kairi requests contact for closure. The dots pulsed like a heartbeat. Jack blinked. Closure. He hadn't had a relationship with any alien mothers, unless burping their kids counted. He told Snark 9 to trace it. The AI whistled digitally. Origin, Outer Rim. Encryption military grade. Sender classified under Queen Kaireth of the Cathal Dominion. Jack laughed the nervous laugh of someone realizing life was about to get stupid again. Oh great, alien royalty. Maybe she wants to give me a medal. Or a restraining order. Snark 9 scrolled through alien media feeds. Correction, she might want to give you both. You're trending on her planet again. Title translation, the human who stole a mother's duty. Also, the comments are 50% romantic. Jack poured a drink. Perfect. I survived war just to die from intergalactic gossip. He debated replying. Half of him said ignore it. The other half said curiosity never killed a cat that owned a plasma rifle. He typed, glad your kid's alive. Hope no hard feelings. Short, polite, human. Snark 9 snickered. You sure you want to send that? Their language has 12 dialects for hard feelings. Half involve mating challenges. Jack hit send anyway. What's the worst that could happen? The answer came 6 hours later. A public Cathal broadcast appeared across the galactic net, challenge accepted. The tender human has invited Queen Kaireth to settle the bond of life. Alien commentators erupted in pheromone-filled excitement. Memes exploded, Jack's photo pasted onto romance holonovels, half-titled Love at First Bite. By morning, News drones hovered outside his apartment. Headlines screamed, "War hero flirts with death, alien queen responds to humans' advances." Jack switched off every screen, but Snark 9 kept replaying them. "Congratulations, lover boy. You're officially interstellar clickbait." He tried denying it on social feeds, but the translation algorithm betrayed him again, turning "I didn't mean it like that" into "I yearn for the chase." Within hours, fan clubs formed: Team Kaereth, Team Jack, and disturbingly, Team Hatchling Reunion. The alien embassy issued statements about cultural misunderstandings in the context of romantic diplomacy. Jack issued a statement of his own: "I'm not into tentacles." Didn't matter. The stars had aligned for absurdity. Satellite readings detected a massive Cathal flagship entering orbit. Governments panicked, diplomats scrambled, and Snark 9 calmly narrated the chaos like a sports commentator. Queen Kaeretha's ship approaching at 2,000 clicks per second. She's broadcasting something, translating now. Message reads, "I come for the human who touched my spawn." Jack dropped his drink. That could mean anything, right? Statistically, Snark 9 replied, 92% chance of violent intent. 8% chance of adult content. He rubbed his face, muttering, "Fantastic odds. Either she kills me or kisses me to death." The comm buzzed again, direct hail from orbit. A voice, deep and smooth like thunder through silk, filled his apartment. "Sergeant Harlow, you cared for my young. You claimed a bond. Now I claim you." Jack stared at the ceiling as if sarcasm could save him. "Lady, I just changed a diaper." "And thus, you changed destiny," she purred. Snark 9 leaned into the microphone. "Permission to panic." "Granted," Jack said. Outside, the night sky glowed with a streak of blue fire. Her ship descended like a falling star. Humanity tuned in. The memes updated in real time. Somewhere in orbit, an alien queen prepared to land, and a very tired human realized the universe had no sense of proportion. Jack downed another drink and muttered to no one in particular, "Next time someone says, 'Think of the children,' remind me to run." Then the power flickered. A shadow passed the window, huge, elegant, terrifying. The AI whispered, "She's here." Jack sighed, grabbed his jacket, and straightened his collar like a man heading to a very awkward first date. "Figures," he said, half to himself. "You save one kid, and suddenly every mother in the galaxy wants a piece of you." Jack woke up to the sound of 20 government messages, 30 marriage proposals, and one very angry voicemail from the Defense Council. Apparently, when an alien queen enters orbit asking for bond settlement, it counts as an international incident. The Secretary of Defense's voice was shrill enough to peel paint. "Harlow, whatever you did to her, undo it. Immediately." Jack muttered, "I gave her a juice box and a blanket. How do you juice that?" Snark 9 hovered beside his bed, projecting a dozen alien news feeds. Every channel showed Kaeretha's ship, 3 miles long, shaped like a blooming carnivorous flower, circling Earth with the patience of a predator eyeing takeout. Alien commentators described her approach as the courtship of the century. Human pundits called it a probable invasion with suspiciously romantic undertones. Jack made coffee, which now felt like a pre-execution ritual. "You know what this is, Snark? Cosmic karma. I save a baby, and the universe says, 'Congratulations, your dinner.'" Snark 9 replied, "Dinner? According to Cathal law, the queen devours her chosen mate after consummation. Efficient, if not romantic." Jack stared at the mug. Great, interspecies Tinder with a side of cannibalism. His comm pinged again, live transmission. Kaeretha's hologram materialized right in his kitchen. Even as light, she filled the room with presence. 6 eyes gleamed like molten metal, her voice smooth yet laced with hunger. "Human. You answered my call." Jack nearly spilled coffee. "Technically, I answered a spam message." She ignored the joke. "You protected my young when your own species called him enemy. You are bound by the law of flesh debt." He blinked. I'm allergic to legalese. Can we go back to not talking? Her lips curled, or what passed for lips. You offer resistance. It excites me. Snark 9 whispered, Congratulations, she's flirting. Jack whispered back, She's threatening digestion. The AI recorded both for posterity. Within hours, K'Retha's ship broadcast a message to every Earth channel. By ancient right, I seek the human called the Tender. Our union will restore balance, or end it. Humanity collectively lost its mind. News tickers scrolled headlines, Alien Queen seeks human lover or lunch. Talk shows debated whether Jack should take one for the team. One senator suggested sacrificing him diplomatically for science. Jack stormed out of his apartment, chased by drones asking if he preferred flowers or flamethrowers. He ducked into a diner, the only place where the waitress didn't care about aliens, just tips. She poured him coffee and said, You the guy she's hunting? He nodded. She shrugged. At least someone's interested. Jack groaned. She's 30 feet tall and breathes acid. Still better than my ex, she said, walking away. Snark 9 floated over the table, projecting K'Retha's next broadcast. The Queen now wore ceremonial armor that looked suspiciously like lingerie made of metal shards. She's escalating, the AI observed. Cultural translation suggests she's entered the phase known as the chase. Jack rubbed his temples. And what's after the chase? Typically, the feast. Sometimes marriage, if you survive. By nightfall, every major network invited him to exclusive interviews. He refused all but one, just to clarify the misunderstanding. The host smiled too wide. Sergeant Harlow, people say your compassion bridged species. What do you say to the millions shipping you and the Queen? Jack answered, I say they need better hobbies. The host leaned closer. But you did cradle her child. He was bleeding. Tenderly. Jack's patience cracked. If helping a kid makes me her soulmate, every kindergarten teacher is doomed. The clip went viral in seconds. Alien audiences interpreted his sarcasm as poetic restraint. Their translators rendered doomed as eternally devoted. The Cathal Senate officially labeled him a potential consort. Snark 9 updated his status. Congratulations. You're now royal property in 3 systems. Jack retreated to his apartment bunker, lights off, curtains drawn. Maybe if I stay quiet, she'll get bored, he muttered. Snark 9 projected a countdown. Or maybe she'll arrive in 20 minutes. Sensors show atmospheric entry. A low rumble shook the walls. Outside, the sky blazed violet. K'Retha's ship hovered above the city like a thundercloud sculpted from steel. Her voice echoed through every frequency. Human Harlow, surrender yourself. I promise the pain will be memorable. The phrasing made half the world swoon and the other half hide under furniture. Jack paced. All right, think, genius. You can't outfight her. You can't outrun a warship. What do you do? Snark 9 offered. Apologize with flowers. She probably eats those. Offer symbolic gift of unity. She might eat me faster. Pretend to be unworthy. That I can do. He stepped onto his balcony, hands raised, shouting toward the ship. Your Majesty. Look, I'm honored, flattered even, but I'm a terrible choice. Bad habits, worse metabolism, emotionally unavailable. Silence. Then a purr through the clouds. All qualities that make the hunt interesting. Reporters filmed everything. Social media exploded with hashtags, #HuntedByLove, #MomDadReturns, #EatPraymate. Jack's inbox flooded with sponsorship offers, dating apps, energy drinks, even a perfume brand called Predator. Snark 9 summarized, You're trending above planetary elections. Jack muttered, I'd trade all this fame for a restraining order the size of Mars. Then came the ultimatum. K'Retha's face filled every screen again. I descend at dawn. The chase begins. If you flee, I shall pursue. If you stay, I shall claim. Either way, you will remember me. Her eyes glowed like suns going supernova. Jack gulped. Snark, please tell me this is a prank. The AI replied, statistically, no. He slumped into his chair, staring at the empty bottle on the counter. You ever feel like the universe is trolling you personally? Snark 9 beeped sympathetically. Constantly. But you, sir, are getting premium treatment. Jack's holophone rang again, an unknown number, human code this time. A calm voice spoke. Mr. Harlow, this is Director Ames of Planetary Relations. You've caused quite the diplomatic situation. We can't risk offending her species. You'll have to meet her. Jack froze. Meet her? As in, face to face. Preferably alive, Ames said. You're humanity's best shot at preventing a war. He laughed until it sounded hysterical. So, let me get this straight. I save a baby, get ghosted for 6 years, then I'm volunteered as tribute in an intergalactic mating ritual. Ames hesitated. We'll call it peace negotiations. Jack drained his glass. You people really know how to sweet-talk a man. Snark 9 hovered near. Bright side, maybe she'll like you enough not to vaporize Earth. Jack snorted. Yeah, or she'll like me too much and vaporize me instead. The night dragged into dawn. He watched the first light creep across the horizon, reflecting off the monstrous silhouette in the sky. His heartbeat matched the ship's low hum. The AI broke the silence. Any final words before first contact? Jack tightened his jacket and exhaled. Yeah. If she asks for commitment, run diagnostics on my spine, I'll probably lose it. The sky split open. Blue fire streaked downward, lighting the clouds like an inferno. The Queen was coming. Jack whispered, half in awe, half in dread, she really wants a piece of me. The morning sky burned violet as K-Retha's ship settled over the horizon like a jealous god. Every broadcast showed her descent, her name trending across 1,000 worlds. To humans it was a crisis. To the Cathal it was a romantic event streamed live, complete with dramatic music. Jack Harlow stood in the center of a landing field surrounded by diplomats who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. Remember, Director Ames whispered, smile, don't provoke her, and under no circumstances mention eating. Jack muttered, that's reassuring. Does she usually snack between peace treaties? A shockwave rolled through the ground as the Queen appeared, stepping through a shimmer of heat. Up close, she was terrifyingly majestic, 8 feet of sleek, predatory grace, eyes like molten metal, voice deep enough to vibrate the fillings in his teeth. Human, she said, tasting the word like a flavor. You survived your own species' politics. Impressive. Jack forced a grin. We humans are stubborn. It's a hobby. Her gaze traveled over him, assessing, predatory but not without curiosity. You were smaller in the footage. Camera adds 10 pounds. Or tentacles, depending on the angle. The diplomat stiffened. Snark 9 hovered behind him, whispering translations that made everything sound worse. She just complimented your scent, the AI said. Maybe don't respond with sarcasm. Jack ignored the advice. Thanks, it's called anxiety and cheap cologne. K-Reth tilted her head, amused. Such scent confuses my hunters. You reek of fear and defiance. An intoxicating mix. He coughed. Yeah, that's me. Frightened and unemployed. She stepped closer, the air thickening with something primal. You touched my young. You fed him warmth. You gave comfort where there should have been none. That's called not letting kids die, Jack said, backing slightly. Among my kind, she purred, such acts are not mercy, they are invitation. He blinked. Invitation to what, exactly? Bond. Hunt. Mating. It is all the same word in our tongue. Snark 9 chimed, confirmed. Very same word. Jack rubbed his face. Fantastic linguistic design. K-Reth circled him slowly, like a cat evaluating whether the mouse might be fun first. Tell me, tender human, she whispered. Did you think of me while you nursed my spawn? I was too busy not getting eaten by it, Jack said. Your offspring had teeth before it had manners. She smiled, a dangerous expression that exposed a row of diamond-hard fangs. It takes after me. Every diplomat pretended not to hear the undertone dripping from her voice. Kaereth leaned in until her breath warmed his ear. You could have killed him. Yet you risked yourself. Why? Jack hesitated, suddenly aware that sarcasm wouldn't save him here. Because someone had to stop the madness, he said quietly. Didn't matter whose side the kid was on. The answer made her pause. For a moment, the huntress faltered. Strange creatures, you humans, she murmured. You fight without reason, yet love without logic. Snark 9 whispered, emotional resonance detected. Suggest continuing. Jack sighed. Yeah, we're a mess. We love, we screw up, we try again. Mostly we survive by accident. Kaereth straightened, her tone shifting from predatory to intrigued. Then perhaps survival is your mating call. Jack groaned. Lady, if that's flirting, we need subtitles. She laughed, a resonant, rumbling sound that shook the air. You mock fear with humor. It is charming. Her attendants hissed behind her, whispering in alien dialects. Kaereth raised a clawed hand to silence them. He will join me aboard my vessel, she declared. The diplomats erupted in protest. Jack raised both hands. Hold on, I'm not volunteering for any experiments. She turned to him, 6 eyes narrowing. You misunderstand. The experiment has already begun. Moments later, he found himself in a grand chamber aboard her ship, the walls alive with shifting bioluminescent patterns that pulsed like a heartbeat. Kaereth stood opposite him, now unarmored, wearing something that looked halfway between ceremonial robes and a trap. You fear me, she said, and yet you stand. Jack shrugged. I've faced worse. Bureaucrats, taxes, ex-girlfriends. She chuckled softly. Then you are not easily broken. Oh, I break plenty. I just glue myself back together with caffeine and sarcasm. She moved closer. Tell me, human, do you understand what it means to hunt? Sure, he said. You chase something until it's too tired to run. No, she corrected. You chase until it wants to be caught. His throat went dry. That's an interesting philosophy. It is courtship, she said simply. You saved what was mine. You share my instincts. That is why I hunt you, not to devour, but to know. Snark 9's voice crackled from his wrist communicator. Translation, she's into you. Jack whispered, yeah, I caught that. Louder, he said, listen, Your Majesty, this is all very flattering, but I'm not exactly built for cross-species romance. She tilted her head. Are you built for honesty? Usually gets me in trouble. Good. Trouble keeps the blood warm. They stood there, the silence thick as gravity. For the first time, Jack saw something in her eyes beyond predation, a flicker of weariness, of loss. When I lost my mate, she said quietly, I swore never to feel again. Then I saw the feed of you cradling my young, and I felt rage. But beneath it was envy. You loved without knowing bloodlines. That kind of strength is rare. He swallowed. Lady, that wasn't strength. That was panic mixed with bad timing. She smiled faintly. And yet, it changed everything. She extended a clawed hand. Join me. Be the bridge between our kinds. Let our bond speak of more than war. He hesitated, torn between survival instinct and the strange sincerity in her voice. If I say no, then I take you anyway, she said, eyes gleaming. The hunt ends one way. Jack sighed. Figures. Every date I've ever had started with bad odds. She stepped forward, close enough that her shadow swallowed his. Do you yield? I compromise, he said. We talk first. Maybe no devouring until after dessert. She laughed again, sharp and delighted. You bargain with a queen as though I am a market vendor. Habit, he said. We humans negotiate everything, even dying. Something softened in her stance. Then let us negotiate, living. Her tone shifted to a dangerous purr. You will dine with me. We will share stories. And afterward, we shall see whether the legend of human endurance is truth or rumor. Snark 9 muttered, that sounded ominous. Jack whispered, everything she says sounds like foreplay and murder at the same time. Kaereth leaned close, her eyes reflecting his face. You fear me, she said again. Good. Fear is honest. So is nausea, he replied. She smiled, revealing teeth designed for both destruction and desire. Then let us dine, tender human. Tonight, you are the guest of honor. As she led him deeper into the glowing corridors, Jack's voice trembled with humor and disbelief. Snark, if I don't make it, clear my browser history. The AI chirped, already done. Behind them, the doors closed with a hiss like a beast inhaling. Somewhere between terror and laughter, Jack realized the hunt was no longer about survival. It was about understanding, and possibly surviving a very aggressive kind of affection. Dinner with an alien queen turned out to be less about food and more about negotiation disguised as foreplay. Kaereth's table was alive, pulsing softly, the dishes still moving as if uncertain who was eating whom. Jack sat stiffly, trying not to look terrified while Snark 9 whispered reminders through his earpiece. Maintain eye contact. Do not flinch. Compliment the predator. He managed, lovely decor. Really brings out the existential dread. Kaereth smiled. Fear makes the flavor richer. He chuckled nervously. I'll take your word for it. The queen gestured, and attendants placed goblets of glowing liquid before them. Drink, she said. It will steady your blood. Jack sniffed it. It smelled like battery acid mixed with nostalgia. Is this safe for humans? If your spirit is strong, she replied. And if it isn't, then your legend will be short but bright. He took a cautious sip. Fire slid down his throat, followed by clarity sharp enough to hear his own heartbeat. Okay, he coughed, either I'm drunk or enlightened. Both, she purred. Now we may speak honestly. She leaned back, eyes studying him the way a sculptor studies stone. You are unlike the others I've met. They fought. You mended. I was tired of shooting things, he said. Seemed simpler to save one for a change. You do not act simple. I am, he replied. Humans complicate survival by caring. Her expression softened. Perhaps that is why you fascinate me. We conquer. You endure. The conversation slid between philosophy and flirting. Every word she used carried double meaning. When she said consume, it meant both understanding and desire. When she said hunt, it meant pursuit, not violence. Jack realized she wasn't here to kill him. She wanted something harder, connection. Still, he couldn't resist sarcasm. So what happens now, Your Majesty? You keep me as a pet? A souvenir from your humanitarian phase. She tilted her head. You misunderstand again. In my culture, the one who is hunted shares in the hunter's power. You are not prey, you are partner. That word hit him harder than the alien liquor. Partner. It sounded absurd, yet strangely right. Humanity had stumbled into countless wars because of fear. Maybe this absurd romance was exactly the bridge needed. So, if I say yes, he asked, we end the cycle. We begin something new, she said, her voice deepening. An alliance born of mercy. A union that terrifies those who cling to hate. He smirked. And if I say no? She smiled slowly. Then history will call it foreplay before surrender. Before he could respond, Snark 9 interrupted over the comms. Incoming transmission from Earth Command. They're requesting confirmation that you haven't been digested. Kaereth arched a brow. Your kind doubts my restraint. They doubt everything, Jack admitted. Including me. She gestured. Tell them you are safe. For now. He opened the line, facing a chorus of panicked officials. Relax, he said. No one's dead. Yet. The feed went silent, followed by a dozen diplomats sighing in collective defeat. K'Retha's chuckle rolled through the chamber like thunder. You enjoy taunting power. Only when it deserves it. Then you and I share a vice. The Queen rose, towering yet graceful. You have given me something unexpected, human, laughter. I had forgotten its sound. Jack blinked. Glad to be of service. We humans weaponize humor. Keeps us sane while everything burns. She nodded thoughtfully. Perhaps your chaos is what balances our order. Her gaze softened again. Tell me, Jack Harlow, would you teach me this humor? Only if you promise not to vaporize the punchline. Deal, she said, extending a clawed hand. He shook it, trying not to imagine how many enemies that hand had crushed. Her grip was firm, warm, surprisingly human. The moments stretched, and something unspoken passed between them, an understanding that what began as a farce had become a chance at peace. So, he said carefully, what do we tell everyone watching? That humanity and the Cathal are suddenly dating. She smirked. Let them speculate. Confusion breeds curiosity. Curiosity ends wars. They walked through the ship's glowing corridors, her attendants trailing behind at a respectful distance. Jack's mind raced. He'd gone from unwanted hero to intergalactic heartthrob to ambassador of accidental diplomacy, all because he refused to kill a kid. Maybe mercy was contagious. Or maybe he was just the galaxy's dumbest lucky man. Snark 9 buzzed in his ear, recording historical moment. Working title, Love in the Time of Plasma Fire. Change it, Jack muttered. Something less embarrassing. When they reached the observation deck, Earth hung below them, a blue marble wrapped in thin hope. K'Reth stood beside him. Your world is fragile, she said. And stubborn. That's our charm, he replied. We break easily but keep coming back for more. She studied him for a long moment. I envy that. Don't, he said. It comes with taxes and existential dread. She laughed again, a low rumble that vibrated through the deck. You defy fear with absurdity. I think I could grow fond of that. Snark 9 projected a notification, incoming transmission from K'Ri, the hatchling, now adolescent. The image flickered to life, a smaller, sleeker version of K'Reth, wearing a mischievous grin. Mom, you didn't eat him. K'Reth rolled her eyes. Disappointment. Curiosity, K'Ri said. He looks softer than I imagined. Jack waved awkwardly. Hey, kid. Long time no acid spit. K'Ri's grin widened. You still smell the same. I told my clutchmates you weren't just Smith. K'Reth interrupted sharply. Enough, child. But there was affection under the authority. As the feed closed, K'Reth turned back to Jack. He remembers you. He carries your mannerisms. Humor, defiance, ill-timed honesty. You infected my bloodline. Call it cultural exchange, Jack said. We export sarcasm better than coffee. She regarded him, serious now. Stay with me for a time. Teach my people your ways. Let our species learn to laugh before they learn to kill again. He hesitated, aware that saying yes might mean never going home. But home had never felt much like one since the war. You promise not to eat me. Not entirely, she teased. He smirked. Good enough. Later, as K'Retha's ship drifted above Earth, the official broadcast declared peace restored and relations opened. Humanity cheered, the Cathal celebrated, and meme artists produced abominations too strange for diplomacy. Jack became both legend and punchline, the man who saved a child and accidentally seduced an empire. He stood alone by the viewport, watching the planet spin below. Snark 9 hovered beside him. Congratulations, sir. You've achieved interstellar peace through sheer awkwardness. Jack smiled faintly. Not bad for a guy who just wanted to mind his own business. Any regrets? The AI asked. He thought about K'Retha's laugh, her son's grin, the absurdity of it all. Yeah, he said finally. I should have charged royalties. The ship's engines thrummed softly as Kairetha's voice echoed through the corridor. Tender human, dinner's ready. That's either domestic bliss or my obituary, Jack murmured, walking toward the sound. Either way, humanity's getting a hell of a story. He straightened his collar, muttering one last thought before the doors opened. Guess sometimes the best way to end a war is to make the enemy laugh, and hope she's laughing with you.